Hello everybody, welcome back to Control. Picking up where we left off, we're heading to the communications department. Find the phone. That will allow us to hopefully communicate with the previous director or with the board, because Pope said that it was a direct line of communications between the director and the board, so... I mean, there are a lot of bathrooms in this place. I don't know why that guy was complaining about the executive one being missing. I mean, don't have to go very far to find another one. Oof, do we go up? Do we go straight? I really don't know. Let's check straight first, just to see, because this is more likely, I feel, to be a dead end. Okay. Oh my. Well, I feel like the mail room is blocked off. And we'll go into pneumatics there in a second. Let's check out the shelter at the end of the dead end. Let's see what we get in here. Book Club Notes for Penny by Samson. So I don't usually read a lot of sci-fi, but as far as space operas go, this was alright. The title, Unless You, could refer to a bunch of things in the book, I guess, but I thought it was a little vague and stupid. The way the characters kept throwing it around almost like a catchphrase got real annoying real fast. The best part of the story was the space battles. I sided with the Fixers, obviously, because they had the coolest tech, and their motives made the most sense to me. Honestly, if I had to choose between some hoity-toity flowers and guns space hippies or a badass bunch of warriors who go around devouring planets like cheap sushi on a Sunday, I know who I'm picking. The scene where they invade City Planet and convert the entire population using those brainworms, and that space dogfight between those two ace pilots, signed me the fuck up. What kind of ruined the whole thing for me was when my favorite character got killed not even halfway through the story by getting a battery cylinder launched into his face by a gravitational anomaly. His death didn't feel necessary at all. Yeah, that seems like one of those like sudden deaths that they put in stuff just to like there's no build up or anything to it. It's just all of a sudden the character's dead. Oops. Accuracy plus 5%. What does that do? Like, does it just make my little targeting thing there smaller? Alright, well, let's check out. This is pneumatics, right? Yeah.
An object of power. Looks like the hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
Oof. Okay, well, I do seem to be safe in here. Another house memory. Okay. Do I need to... go up there? Looks like it. Ooh, I wonder, is cleansing this gonna get me that? Like, is this how I, like, get my superpowers? Is by, like, doing these things? Also, it's nice to know that I do have a crouch. Oh, it's the floppy disk that the guy was talking about. floppy disk nuke can be bound to gain launch telekinesis. Teach us to believe, Director.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
Okay. Well, I guess that answers my question as to whether or not that's how I get my powers. It sure seems to be. Align the cube thingamajig. Slot to advance score. Okay. Now, am I going to be able to throw enemies around? That seems like it would be a bit overpowered. Okay. Am I going to have to fight the board at the end of this? Oh wow, auto aim, eh? Or auto target, that makes things. I can see myself using this a lot. The hiss noise is burrowing into our astral plane secret base. You must stop or mute them, Director. Okay, so... Nope, that's not the right button. There it is. No. What is that? Yeah, I already... Energy recovery speed. Because I see myself using this significantly more than anything else since it auto-targets the enemies for me. The floppy disk is now bound and delivered. The hiss antagonist is seeking our astral plane.
There you are. You were gone. Cut off. I got it. Just like you wanted, right? This will help me fight the hiss.
What's that? Oh wow, I can just pull up pieces of the floor if I don't have anything. Okay, so if something has a shield, I can break it by throwing something at it immediately. Whereas obviously when I was shooting that one with the gun, it did take a little bit more. Okay, well now that this place is cleansed, I can look a little bit more around. But yeah, I definitely see myself using that quite a bit. Because there is supposed to be one collectible in this area. But yeah, this the fact that it auto targets is good, because there was no way that I was fucking hitting them with that. Otherwise, like the way the enemies move, the way you move and everything, you can tell that this game was 100% built for a mouse. Like, because like they're obviously, you know, shooters in general are better using a mouse and keyboard. Like first person, third person, doesn't matter. They're generally better. But like, you can tell the ones that they took into account consoles and that. Like if you play like pretty much any of the Resident Evil games, you know, it like you don't feel like switching between PC and a console. it's not. It's obviously a noticeable difference, but it's not like you don't feel like you're super lacking when you're playing them on console. To be fair, it's been a while since I played a Resident Evil game, so maybe you do, but I may have to just assume that my collectible is behind that clearance door. And that was level 2 clearance as well, so. Alright, so a Hiss Ranger. The Rangers are the Bureau's well-trained and well-armed expeditionary forces. Their Hiss-corrupted counterparts are equally formidable. Prior to corruption, Rangers were trained to use a variety of weapons in order to face any threat found during all response or threshold exploration, including submachine guns, assault rifles, and automatic shotguns. Hiss Rangers utilize these weapons as well as the advanced tactics taught by Bureau instructors. Some are additionally outfitted with Bureau-made body armor. Hiss Rangers have no observed paranatural abilities beyond some being protected by shielding and dense Hiss resonance capable of stopping bullets. Considering the advanced training the Hiss Rangers are capable of applying to their situation, it is feasible to consider the human mind still remains intact to some degree, or is the Hiss able to tap into this combat training and utilize it? Further observation is required. And then the Demolition Expert. The Bureau only allows certain highly trained individuals to handle volatile materials and weaponry. Our demolition experts are instructed in the use of explosives in dimensions with distinct physical laws, making them important assets for engineering work as well as combat situations. Hiss demolition experts are the only observed Hiss variants to wield a specially built rocket-propelled grenade that is designed to identify and track redacted entities once fired, making them a threat whose termination should be prioritized in combat scenarios. I find it remarkable that the Hiss restrict usage of this weapon to the Bureau personnel trained specifically for its use. What does this tell us about its behavior? Can it not pass along new information to corrupted entities? Still too many unknowns. Oh, I got a new case file too. Alright, the floppy disk. Must be contained in a cell with no other loose material. The object is an 8-inch diskette containing Soviet-era nuclear launch codes. When bound, the object allows para-utilitarians to telekinetically lift material and throw it a short distance. See Dr. Lang presentation. I think we already did. The object is currently bound to Redacted for research purposes. Stolen from a Soviet military base located in Redacted by agents Redacted and Redacted with the CIA. The diskette contains launch codes to Redacted missiles believed to be reserved for use against Redacted. After being returned to America, the diskette began throwing computational hardware at members of the decoding team. An informant in the CIA tipped the Bureau off, and it was requisitioned by agents the next day. Their health recovery mod. Okay, so wait, is this... Oh, so I probably had to do that then? Is that what you're telling me here? Because wasn't there... Yeah, there was another... Okay, well, let's go back then. Because there was the stairs here. That's a weird noise. And what do I get? Undefined reading again. Yeah, still a very weird noise. Alright, so the stairs were the dead end. That makes sense. Did she break the floor when she landed? She did too. Damn, girl. Alright, well... I really hope at some point I get to use all this shit I'm picking
Emily
up.
said that the hotline can be reached through the mailroom.
Well... hearing shit. Can I just push through? No. Oh my god, what the fuck? My phone's just went off like fucking 4 times. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. No, go away. That's good. I've been waiting for that. That's fucking late as shit. Alright. this weaker. Oh. Because, see, if they have all these bodies floating around, right, and they're all chanting the same thing over and over again, you have to assume that it's for a reason, right? So, I'm kind of assuming that it's helping to kill them, since I can't save them anyway, but... Ooh, launch efficiency. What is this? Health recovery per element pickup, 25%. Health recovery per element pickup, 26%. And 20%. So let's deconstruct that one. 25 and 26%. Oh, right. What did this do? Launch energy cap cost minus 8%. Now, would that be better since that's the only one I have than just energy recovery? Would it basically not make a difference? Like, I don't... I mean, being able to use it more times in a row, but I don't know if 8% is going to be enough to actually use it more. Here. A lot of stuff is lighting up now that I have this, though. National news sites have begun publishing the story of the polar bear attack on the Alaskan town. You all know I don't like to boast, but claiming that the family was killed by migrating polar bears desperate for food because their ecosystem is being ruined by global warming was a stroke of genius. Using current ecological concerns makes the public much less likely to redact it. See, now, I feel like the only thing that could be under there is, like, look into what really happened. And I don't know why that would be redacted. So another behind us and the public's none the wiser. Well done, everyone. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. This doesn't mean we can stop monitoring redacted for any off-message opinions, but it's looking like we're in the clear. All right, what do we get in this one? Another undefined reading. Yeah, I really hope that at some point these get used. At some point soon, I should specify, because obviously they're going to be used at some point. But I would like that to be sooner rather than later, considering that, like I said, I guess it really depends on what they do, because, I mean, if they don't do shit, like anything, like, super useful, I guess it doesn't matter if they get used right away or not. Okay, so if the mailroom is that way, and that's the way, and we're supposed to be going through the mailroom. Man, a lot of shit I can pick up. Down there, no. Although, there's gotta be, yeah. More floaters. Oh. Was that really it? Just like the one guy? Okay. Oops. Man, gonna have a hell of a turnover between the last director and me, with considering how many there are dead. Oh. Oh god. Ranger First Class Coleman, eh? Okay, well, that's not the first time we've come across a First Class Ranger, but we got it. Hidden Trend. Wonder what that is. Oh, energy recovery speed plus 20%, which means I can get rid of the 17% one. Was it? No, because my collectibles aren't lit up either. Huh. I don't know what that thing that popped, or the one thing that popped up on the side of my screen was then. Last month, our on-site server experienced an intrusion by unauthorized users. After a thorough investigation, it was confirmed that the users only accessed a video file which contained portions of various Dr. Darling presentations. Investigators were able to track the users through their IP addresses. The following are the confirmed identities of these users. Patrick Struchins, sure, and all those people. These individuals are in breach of Bureau Code 91 and have been placed under surveillance by our external investigation team. Further action is pending. Yeah, having this fucking throw ability, man. Fucking love it. You see how easily I went through that room? Like, I barely took any damage. I am curious as to why all of these computers are in network disconnected. Well, I did rip out a few computers as I was going. But yeah, I am curious why all these computers are in these cells. Like, that's very odd. Where am I anyway? This is in the communications department, apparently. Okay, that's where I was. Now it does show another... Oh, right, but that other door is locked. So yeah, like, are the Rangers first class, like, mini-bosses, I guess? Okay, but... Wait. Why do I have access to this? Like... Weird. Pay attention, Alberto. This is the last time I'm explaining this. Internal lockdowns are manually triggered events that lock one or all of the sectors by restricting use of the sector elevator, effectively locking staff in their sector until the emergency is handled. It can only be lifted via the directorial override and maintenance once the director is satisfied that the situation is under control. External lockdowns are a bigger deal, nothing in or out of the whole building. It's only triggered by a code red containment breach based on some complicated systems that security and research slap together. It can only be lifted once A, the threat has been neutralized, and B, a high clearance individual gives the system the all clear. This process is not the same as the directorial override, so stop saying so in documentation. I know it's confusing as hell. I've told Darlene 100 times to change it, but they're adamant it stays the way it is. Honestly, I don't think they even know how to change it at this point. Let's just make sure our staff understand how this mess all works, okay? I don't like the looks of what's coming up because that looks like the same garbage that I couldn't get through before. Where the... Oh, is it this? Okay, so I'm assuming then that, like, is it just this area, or is it if I specifically touch the goo? No, it seems to just be the area. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I'll get a way to, like, clear that out at some point. Yeah, I gotta say that without regenerating health, having areas like that is kind of a fucker move, you know? Like... What is this? Oh, clearance level 1. that's good. I now have level 1 clearance.
You're listening to America Overnight, mystifying the airwaves for more than 29 years. Thank you for staying up with us. Ghosts. We've had many callers over the years tell us of hauntings, voices, and other phantasmagorical phenomena. Today, friend of the show, Dr. Quincy Reagan, tells his story. Quincy.
Thanks. This is something I experienced recently while staying at the Chili Pines Motel in Macon for last year's SuspiciaCon. I was in room 47. The night manager, an avid listener of the program, insisted I take this particular room. Now, the manager explained that years back, the body of a man was discovered under the bed, inside that wooden border that motel beds tend to have. And the body had been there a week, he said. Guests had stayed there, sleeping with the corpse a foot below them. They only found the body when housekeepers complained about the smell. Hauntings have been reported in room 47 ever since. I happily took the room. I fell asleep pretty quick, checking under the bed first, of course. No ghosts visited me, no chilly spots or flickering lights. But when I woke up, I found myself under the bed. It was dark and stiflingly hot. Luckily, I was able to push the mattress off and crawl out before I suffocated. The night manager was kind enough to find me another room.
There you have it, listeners. What we call ghosts take many forms. Quincy was brave enough to tell his story, and I encourage you to keep calling and writing whenever you encounter something strange, something you can't explain. Maybe you're seeing colors that we have no name for. Maybe your toaster is possessed. Remember, dear listeners, when no one else believes you, we do. America Overnight, we'll be right back.
I've heard that story before. Not so much the falling asleep on it and then waking up under the mattress. That part's new to me. But I mean the whole like, oh, there was the dead body hidden in the hotel or motel mattress, and nobody noticed until somebody finally noticed the smell. Like that's a fairly common urban legend. New launch efficiency, eh? 7%, which is actually worse than the one I already had. So good night. Okay, so that was everything up there, right? That's just the radio. Got my level 1 clearance now. I don't know how much that'll help me. We came across a few clearance doors, obviously, including level 1. But oh, come on. I also don't know like how much backtracking I should be doing with this game. Like, is this a control point? Oh, look at that, some bitch. Oh, another level 1 clearance.
This must open the door.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so let's check the bathrooms yet again. It's weird that the bathrooms are like literal copy paste of each other, like layout wise. Like obviously there's some that have like the broom in them, some that don't, and that's like they're not 100% copy pasted, but they're still like way more similar than you would think they should be. Okay, so I need to claim the control point, but we'll do that to finish the part. Okay, well that's obviously above. I guess there's no reason not to claim the control point, right? I mean, because all it'll do is just let me fast travel. so I may as well claim it. Oh, you know what, actually? Oh. Alright, okay. So let's fast travel to Central Executive. And let's just knock out some of these clearance doors that we went past before. Okay. Sector elevator. Communications, dead letters, cafeteria, nostalgia. That's the boardroom. Not this direction. Oh, director. Oh, good God. Oh, and okay, so the bodies are still floating here, but I guess I can't use my gun in this area. Maybe because it's like a safe zone. Nope, that's a level 4 one. Oh, but I can use my gun here. Can I see any from here? Where was it? I know there was one over here. There we go. Level 1 clearance. Whoops. Fuck. Oh, nice. Top one. I regret, dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death are classified, I am honored to tell you that he died in the service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against her enemies. He will be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Sincerely yours, Howard J. Murray, Deputy Chief of Communications. Alright. Just another house memory. Okay, so that was the only level 4 door here. But if we go back now to here, that's a level 4. Huh. I don't know, maybe the fact that you can't shoot in here to get rid of these people, maybe that's a clue that maybe I shouldn't be shooting all the other ones that I come across. But I don't know. I am on the complete wrong side. Oops. There it is. Oh, fuck, I forgot to hold it again. Para-utility, I think that one was called. Wait, summary. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. You call these individuals para-utilitarians, which is a really long name. The potency of these abilities depends on the para-utilitarian. Using the redacted object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of redacted, while others are only capable of as little as redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation for more information. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some redacted exists within the body and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmore records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. One of the most successful para-utilitarians in Tell Me. Another memory. Yeah, I do really hope these things have like some really good use at some point. Okay. And our next one. It's weird, I'm not seeing too many level 2s. Like, I'm seeing some level 3s, some followers, 5s, bunch of 1s. Very few, like, I haven't seen any level 2s in this area. Oh, the thing that I was using for the collectibles. Or the collectibles map that I gave up on is also had one where all the doors are. Damage against enemy armor plus 41%. Sure. 41% is a pretty high number, so I'll take that. And it's behind a locked door, so I mean... okay. We've actually only got one more to go through. I guess we may as well. Well, no, actually, because it's near Dead Letters, and our fast travel point is right back here. Yeah, it's right there, so that's definitely faster than running through, especially since this... Whoa, 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 whoa. Outfit. Civilian, okay. Do I not have a director's outfit? That's weird. Oh, that's where I am, not... Okay, I assume that's where, like, my quest objective was. That's why it was, like, the red marker, but no, that's just where I am. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, look at that. There's somebody way the fuck up there. I don't know why I could hear him so clearly, but, you know. This way. Oh, good God. You good? Nope. Now are we good? Yep. Okay. Looks like we got one more door. That's a level 1 clearance. It's just over here. Uh-huh. Boop boop. An energy boost. Energy plus 6% or recovery speed. I'm gonna stick with recovery speed right now. What is this? Oh, Havana supplement. Bureau medical staff personally evaluated the injured embassy personnel when they arrived back in the country. While the victims reported cognitive issues, dizziness, and fatigue, further testing by Bureau medics found intense cell damage similar to that of radiation exposure. Agents and research staff remained to take soil samples from the surrounding area but found no trace of and redacted beyond the health issues of the staff. The communications department disseminated a story of foreign powers using redacted on the embassy staff, resulting in various health issues that required the embassy to be evacuated. The story successfully took hold, gaining brief international attention. Alright. Oh, missed the stairs. Alright, so that's that. We, let's see, because that's where we need to go. Where am I at? Yeah, that looks like it's leading into a whole thing. Because I'm assuming that the phone we need is down in this circular, like this big circle at the bottom there. So we'll leave it here for now, because I feel like we've been going for a while. Yeah, we have. That's a good length. So yeah, we'll leave it here for now. and then we'll head deeper into the communications department. Really enjoying the game so far. Now that I have the launch ability, my combat efficiency has improved greatly. And like I said, I like games that have collectibles that are easy to find and not just like always hidden, when they're gonna actually be giving you like lore and backstory and that stuff that's happening. So, and you know, it rewards exploration a little bit, kind of. I mean, I like having the lore and the story and that. So that's a reward. And I guess I do pick up other little miscellaneous things. Once we find out what all of these memories and that are for, it might it might be a little bit more rewarding as well. But that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for some more Control.